Welcome to the Wedco podcast, where wedding wisdom meets street smarts.
We're dishing out all the tips, tricks, and wedding goss to take your wedding to the next level.
Time to ditch the formalities and get this party started. Hello and welcome to the Wedco podcast. I'm Togger.
And I'm Joel, and we're here at the beautiful Greenview in Cabarita Beach.
And today we've got Christina from Flossy on board with us. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you so much for having me.
So good to see you.
Pleasure is all ours. When we're on the hunt for more people, Joel couldn't speak more highly of you. He's like, we have to have her on board.
Thanks, Joel.
I paid him to say that.
And far out, I was just like scrolling your Instagram late at night and just getting super hungry and like it's so delicious. So thank you so much for coming on.
Oh, I appreciate you guys having me, truly.
Pleasure.
Maybe we could start off a little bit, I guess, about the backstory of Flossy and how it all came to be.
Yeah, so Flossy pretty much happened because this is what I wanted at my wedding and it didn't exist. So I really just wanted to have an experience for my guest that was interactive and there's a surprise element, and obviously I love cocktails and fairy floss, so it was like a no-brainer. So when I had sold my previous dessert business of 6 years, then I started this one started to build the cart. Well, my husband was building the cart and launched it the same week that the world shut down in March. So
Lovely.
it was really great timing. But yeah, it ended up, I think the response ended up being like surprisingly overwhelming of like everybody just wanting this and loving it. So even though it sounds like a really hard way to start a business, it was actually perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, why would people not want you at their wedding? You know, like after you see it and you see like, okay, I want to ask too. So did it start just with the fairy floss and then it kind of expanded from there?
No, so the floss with the drinks was always part of the plan. It was done in steps of launching it, especially when COVID hit and then a flood hit and then another flood. So I was kind of just like navigating how to roll it out in a way that, you know, dealt with everything else that everybody was dealing with. So that was definitely always a part of it. Because I would never actually sit and eat a stick of fairy floss, but give it to my drink every time, every day. I'm like, so yeah, I created what I wanted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so you had a dessert business prior?
Yes.
Yeah. So the experience from that was brought forward into this one?
Definitely learnt a heap with the prior business. And it definitely helped with the flavor, like understanding the flavor combinations and how to actually create it.
Yeah.
But everything else is different.
Do you have to have like an RSA? Or not that's a given. That's not one thing. Like food and beverage, like anything like that? Or?
Well, the food and beverage,
Yeah, just because you are serving technically food.
Yeah, so with fairy floss, the risk is actually none because its main ingredient is sugar.
Yeah.
So in my previous business, yes. This one, no.
Yeah. Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
So just RSA really.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
And I was reading pretty much everyone can have Flossy. Like, because there's so many people that you get to a wedding and like, they're gluten intolerant and all the different intolerances.
Yes.
Pretty much.
Pretty much. So that was the other really big thing for me is I'm the person with the EpiPen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so with my wedding, I couldn't have like a normal cake with dairy in it and I couldn't have nuts in it and all these things. So it was really important that anybody could have it and you didn't have to worry about the allergies that, you know, some people have as your wedding guest.
Is there any allergy?
No.
That's
There
awesome.
is dairy in the Pop Rocks.
Yeah, okay.
I don't use Pop
but
Rocks.
just don't use Pop Rocks for that.
That's
But
right.
yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
How do you come up with the different flavor combinations?
So pretty much Flossy was completely redesigned for the adult palate.
Yeah.
And a big part of that is for flavors. So, you know, something like a salted caramel or a tiramisu or a roasted marshmallow. Like the other big part of coming up with the flavors is how it's going to pair with the drinks and the cocktails. So, for instance, I would pair an espresso martini, would get topped with a creme brulee floss. And then when it sort of dissolves into the drink, it adds this like beautiful caramel note to it that you typically wouldn't find in an espresso martini. But then essentially what's really cool is everybody's walking around with their perfect drink because they're the ones adding their sweetness to it.
Yeah,
True.
for sure.
But it's also an experience, right? Like it's that nostalgic experience that you have as a child, but in an adult way.
Totally.
Yeah.
And I feel with like experiences are coming through more and more at weddings. Like everyone wants the cocktail hour and everything to become an experience.
Yeah.
For sure.
And I feel like, obviously you're right up there.
Yeah.
I don't think people, if they're rocking up to a wedding and Flossy's going to be there, everyone is going to remember that wedding.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I think this is what is so important about whether you hire Flossy or any other vendor. Like people remember what they touch and what they eat and what they drink, and having that interactive experience is everything.
Yeah.
This is why, like having it made in front of them is all a part of that, and like that experience. And even like it's some of the couples actually will come behind the machine and I'll give them like a little test run and they can actually make the floss
That's cool.
together and feed it to each other. And like, it's just about creating that fun.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's definitely like what we've noticed. Like we did a recording with Pepe's down in Newcastle, and his whole business model, like structure is like that interactive, like Italian style food. And it's like, we've got the cheese, we're going to throw the pasta and like all these things. And it's like having like cool, you can eat food. Like no one's going to be upset that you get served pasta.
No.
But he's like, cool, how can we make that interactive?
Exactly.
And so like that's what like has been great about you. Or your business is like it is that interactive rather than just cocktail hour being cool. The venue brings out drinks and we stand and chat for an hour and a half while people getting photos.
Yeah. I was at a wedding in Noosa on Friday and all the guests were coming in straight from the ceremony and I just had the whole cart covered in lychee martinis with a lychee lime floss and then Prosecco with a creme brulee or a raspberry rosewater floss on top. And everybody walked in and they were like, oh my God, this is like this surprise element, I think, as well as just like, it's just one of those really beautiful ways to just set the tone for your reception.
Definitely.
And even just the design of like the cart.
Yeah.
Like, so you and your husband building that?
So I told him what I wanted and he built it.
Far out.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah.
Because like it is high quality. Like when you look at that, that is like luxe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
He's a very design detail oriented like builder. So yeah.
Has he had to like fix anything? Like
No,
I'm the type of guy. I used to be a builder, and I'm like thorough. No, I'm not thorough at all. But I'll do stuff and it'll last for some time.
No, he like will build it once and that's it.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'd have wheels falling off.
What does the process look like when, a couple first gets onto your website and they want to book you? Like, what is the whole process from them booking you through to the wedding day? What does that look like?
So they just get in touch and I just say, yeah, I'm available or no, I'm not. And I hate to say no. And then, they just fill out a little form. They tell me, if they want cocktails or bubbles or both. We come up with a menu. I give them like a little shopping list to order the liquor either through the venue if it's licensed or if it's BYO. I'll tell them the shopping list. And then
gotcha.
I pretty much arrive on the day with everything that they need except for the liquor and then create an experience that, hopefully they love.
And do they choose a few different like kind of cocktails or like how does
so
work?
they choose their cocktails and then based on that I pretty much design a menu that will pair with their cocktails.
Oh, sweet.
So for instance, if they're doing margarita, I'll do like a salted kefir lime floss to garnish or
You got to stop saying these names.
I know.
We just got a tray of
yeah, seriously. Or, I'm doing one this week. We're doing a pina colada with a coconut lime floss. And I mean, so depending on what they're serving will determine what gets paired. And then I also add in the crowd favorites, like the salted caramel, the tiramisu, like the desserty ones. So I can actually make bags for the guests to take home. So the favors are done.
Yep.
So it's pretty much your desserts, your drinks. Yeah.
And is it typically kind of like the cocktail hour that you're there, or are you kind of hanging around all night?
Most of the time Flossie gets hired for cocktail hour.
Yep.
The other option is as like a after dinner dessert surprise option, and then we'll do like a dessert cocktail, like an espresso martini with a creme brulee floss. Something that's becoming more popular is like welcoming their guest pre-ceremony with the bubbles and floss. And then just after they say I do, having that toast.
Yep.
And that kind of sets the tone, especially if they're having a lot of guests come from like far away and stuff. It's like, okay, we're here to party. We're here to celebrate.
Yeah, we're celebrating.
It's every time I do that sort of event, the guests are the most like happiest.
Oh, for sure. And I mean, like champagne towers are so special, but like coming and having that versus this, it feels like a party.
It's 100%.
Yeah.
And I think it's probably a really good way of like almost telling your guests don't be late.
Yeah.
And like instead of getting those people like struggling like 3 minutes before the ceremony starts, it's just like cool. Like we're gonna have like cocktails there like 30 minutes prior. Like come in, you get your special cocktail. I don't know. I think that could be a cool way rather than just everyone rocking up, and then not even just the stragglers that rock up late, but even like the people that get there early.
Yeah.
And then they just kind of like stand around looking at the trees.
Right. Yeah, that's right. Exactly. Because everybody sort of arrives 30 minutes prior to the ceremony starting, right? So it's kind of nice to, you know, have an experience for your guests so they're not just waiting around.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
What areas are you currently serving at the moment?
So I'm driving from Noosa right down to Sydney at the moment.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I do a lot of corporate stuff in Sydney. This Friday I was in Noosa, Saturday I was in Byron, and Sunday I was in Mount Tambourine. So wherever the celebration, the love is, I'll go.
Yeah.
There you go.
So your setup time must be pretty quick these days?
It is.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Perfect. And then earlier before we jumped on, we were talking about competitions and giveaways.
Yes.
Can you elaborate on a little bit on what you have going at the moment?
Sure. So we have put together an incredible list of vendors to give away an entire wedding. So it's valued at $50,000.
Far out.
I know, it's crazy. I wasn't expecting it to get as like incredible of a giveaway as it is. But we're drawing it on the 17th of August. So there's still time to sign up.
Awesome.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
So for people to jump in this giveaway, what do they got to do?
They can go onto Flossy. There's a little giveaway
Link?
Yep. And they just follow the instructions.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
And so obviously it has been a massive response already. There's a lot of people that will run competitions that just flop.
Sure.
What did you do differently to make yours such a big success?
I think the prize itself is pretty incredible. The vendors have created like
Dream wedding.
a dream come true wedding.
Yeah.
I mean, the venue is Nutting Hill, which is like transport you to Italy.
Yeah.
We've got spirits from We Are Familiar Spirits. We've got, I mean, the list just keeps going.
Yeah, I can imagine.
We've got florals from Ivy and Blue and suits and, I mean, shoes and
Oh, wow. That's all
music
included in
and
suits and stuff.
pretty much your entire wedding. The wedding planning, on the day coordinating and, just
Wow.
I'm moving out so many vendors at the moment, but there's 20 of us.
Yeah, wow.
So I think this is like a dream come true for so many couples.
Wow. Wedding dress?
No wedding dress.
Okay.
We really wanted the bride to choose that.
Yep, for
Everything else was sort of chosen
Yep.
for her. Like, you know, we've got the cake from the Cake 8 Paris.
Yeah,
and,
cool.
you know, everything is sort of done. So it's
good.
like, you know, a woman wants to choose her own dress.
Exactly.
For sure.
Yeah.
She doesn't want to give an address that she wouldn't naturally wear.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay.
Exactly.
And then as far as Flossy goes, are you looking to expand any further? Like you said, you're driving everywhere at the moment.
Yes.
Yeah.
Are you looking to build out a team or anything like that so that you're not going everywhere?
I love what I do.
Yeah.
And I actually don't want to have anybody, like I want to be there. So I've built a second cart, which is vanilla.
Yep.
I definitely see Flossy being Australia-wide.
Yep.
It's just
Wait, did you name your cart?
Flossy.
Vanilla.
Yeah.
Vanilla and Flossy, right.
No, so we've got a Flossy carts. We've got it in pink or vanilla.
Gotcha,
Yeah,
gotcha.
okay.
I thought the name of the cart was vanilla, and I was like, all right, what's the other one called?
No, it's the color vanilla.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This one's Jemima.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, there's definitely the demand, and like it's going that way for it to be, you know, in Melbourne and Sydney and Adelaide. because I'm constantly having to tell couples, no, sorry, I'm not in Adelaide yet.
Yeah.
But it'll be there.
Yeah,
soon.
okay.
Pay for my 3-day trip down and
Yeah.
that'd be a mish.
I mean, where there's a will, there's a way.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So is there anyone else behind the team apart from yourself at the moment?
I'm the team.
You are the team.
Yeah. Yeah. My husband helps
Yep.
when I'm,
Bottlenecked.
but no, when I say we on the emails, I mean me.
Yeah. That's a very normal, like, what's that, solopreneur?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Solopreneur thing to do.
I actually designed the business for this, for me to be able to do it all.
Yeah.
And I really love like 90% of the aspects besides the GST part.
Yeah.
I was like, I actually want to do. So yeah.
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 Cool.
So outside of Flossy, we were talking before that you were saying that you're a business coach as well.
I do.
Do you want to dabble us in that a little bit? Because I think that like a lot of people are kind of seeking that out these days.
I mean, I started it because I have been in business for over 20 years. I've started lots of different businesses, sold businesses, and I just wanted me when I was starting businesses. And I feel like I've learnt so much in so many different industries, and I've helped so many businesses along the way that I just feel like I could help so many people.
Yep.
And I do, and I really love it. So I'll be doing this until I'm 80. I just naturally want to help people avoid costly mistakes, or, just bring a different eye to design for them to get a clear message on who their customer is and how that sort of lands from the perspective of the actual, customer.
Yeah, for sure.
Because I think so many people forget that perspective because they're so focused on their business.
What it is,
Is it wedding specific or just business in general?
I help businesses in all different
Okay.
fields.
Is there a few different like attributes that you see in people where you could kind of be like they're going to be successful or they're not going to be successful? Like maybe what's a few things?
I think
Males. Losers.
I think the biggest thing is the person that just doesn't give up.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because I think business is constantly about, navigating and adapting and picking yourself up and not getting knocked down and picking yourself up again. It's like that person that just continues to just be driven and not be wavered and just, keep tweaking along the way until they find their right, approach and direction.
Yeah.
I think that kind of personality definitely helps.
Yeah. And what's your view then about, okay, so you're doing everything for your business at the moment.
Yeah.
Someone will come up to me and they'll say like, well, why aren't you hiring a VA to do your social media or do this or do this or this?
Yeah.
Obviously you would have had to learn a lot along the way to take it all on.
Yes.
What's your view on doing it all versus hiring people to help you?
I think hiring people is great. I used to have 36 staff over 6 years. And so I definitely don't, I think hiring people that are smarter than you and, more qualified in the fields that you're not is always a great idea. For me, I just like to do it all.
Yeah.
I really enjoy it. And I love to, figure out how to build a website and love to figure out how to do the SEOs and all of these things that, you have to figure out in the beginning.
Yeah.
I just enjoy the challenge of it all.
Yeah. I think a lot of one of the things that I guess I struggled with a little bit was trying to bridge the gap between you earning X amount and then your staff only getting, their set wage kind of thing, and like how you almost help them understand, like, I don't know what I'm trying to say, but like almost not feeling bad for me earning this amount and them only getting this much kind of thing.
Sure.
Is that like a common thing that you see with people? Or
I think most people have no idea what goes into starting a business and what that risk truly is and what that investment truly is. And so I think when they look at someone that's just become successful or just earning this amount, they're like, oh, that's not fair. And it's like, well, actually, you have no idea how much I've lost and how many failures I've had to go through to even get to this point where I can hire you.
Yeah.
So I think, you know, that perspective is only going to be there for people that have really given it a go and failed and given it a go again. I think the best way of navigating that is actually just incentivizing them to really grow the brand with you, and allow them to be a part of that team rather than just feeling like they're
Clock in, clock out.
yeah. So there's lots of different ways of doing that.
Yeah. I feel like even like it's such a skill hiring people and like not over delegating, because that's this thing, like I really struggle delegating, and then all of a sudden you're like, take everything, and then it all falls to crap, and you're like, take it all back, you know? Like
I guess this is the thing, is like what I really enjoy is like nobody is going to put the effort and the love into it like I would. And I think, you know, for me, delivering that experience from the second I meet my couple or whatever, it's like right through. It's like I want that experience to just be seamless, because I know how important it is to, you know, it's the biggest day of their life.
For sure.
You know, and like I know when I got married 10 years ago, like I still to this day just love and remember everything about the vendors that helped create this magic for me. So like and so many times, like when I'm at these weddings, I don't tell the couple, but I'm like, I would pay them to be here, because I just feel so honored to like be a part of such a day that they'll remember for the rest of their life.
Yeah.
So I want that process to be seamless, and I want to be involved in every single part of it. Yeah.
I remember having a similar comment when I first started out with Steve, and I was just like, you get paid to do this? Like, sign me up, bro.
Yeah, it's crazy. I literally would have paid. I did a wedding a few weeks ago at Summer Grove, and I literally looked at the couple and I was like, I want to pay you guys. Like, I want to give you your money back because I'm having way too much fun.
Yeah, like I'm drunk.
No,
I'm kidding.
but no, it's just, you know, it's such an honor.
do you ever get to experience some of the drinks when you are working, or are you just like solid?
No, when you're RSA, you're not drinking.
Oh, true.
Good for I did think about that.
My a big part of my work is obviously making sure the cocktails are incredible.
Yeah.
So when I get home, like before, you know, the event, I'm making sure the lychee martini's on point.
Quality control.
Quality control, exactly.
We did want to focus a lot these couple recordings about like delivering, you know, above and beyond for clients.
Yes.
Can you maybe mention a few things that you think you're doing in your business that does really elevate and you are providing like an exceptional experience for your clients?
Yeah, I mean, I was raised with my backyard being Disney World. So it's actually, and being American, it's in my blood to create this incredible experience for everyone. I think the reason why Flossy has been so successful is because most people aren't used to that level of service and that expectation being met, but then like so surpassed.
Yeah.
Most of my bookings are from other events. So like I'll do someone's hen's party and they're like, oh my God, you have to be at my wedding, because they just don't get this level of like experience from just a normal mobile bartender, you know?
Yeah.
So, I mean, my couples are hugging me at the end and they're booking me for their business and their mom's 50th and their baby shower. And it's like, you know, I think creating that exceptional service is what keeps a business going long term without having to advertise much. Like,
For sure.
And I've been really lucky because for me, I treat every guest like they were in my home because I feel like I'm a natural born host. Yep. And I think because I love what I do so much, it just like oozes out of me.
Yeah.
And people like, they feel it.
Yeah.
You know?
I was going to say it's almost surprising, and I don't want to boost your ego too much.
Please don't.
But like, I'd say a lot of your business is like really good in the sense of like the design aspect of your business looks phenomenal.
Thank you.
Obviously the product of what you deliver is phenomenal.
Thank you.
But then also the deliverance, like you're a charismatic person. You got, like I was saying to Steve, like Christina's got like the biggest smile and like you're just a very charismatic. So like you serving the drinks on the day, it's not just like many years ago I used to be a barista, and you get so stuck in like the rush of just like getting things done. And so you could easily conform to that and be like, I've just got to get all these drinks done. I've got to get this floss, like all this. But instead of doing that, you're, like you said, you're creating that experience
Yes.
rather than just being so stuck down in like the work. I
you.
think that's like what wraps it all up, and it's a testament to you on how you can do that and do it time and time again, considering that you don't have a team around you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Do you have someone that helps out on the day though?
No.
Oh, seriously?
No, I do everything.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've actually seen Christina rock up to a shoot, and she just like on her own was pushing the cart, and I was like, "Do you want a hand?" She's like, "I'm good. I've got this." Rolling up the sleeves.
Yeah. I mean, I found myself in some pretty hairy situations, but my husband's created this winch system as well. So I can, I've figured out, I think when you finally understand business, you can simplify it where you can do it on your own.
Yeah.
But yeah, I want to be in every aspect of it because it is so rewarding. Yeah.
Fulfilling as well.
It is. Yeah.
So what's the max amount of people that you could serve then at a wedding?
Oh, I mean, I do. So on Friday it was 87. I mean, I've done a corporate event with 1,000, but I'm working with another bar.
Yep.
And so pretty much whatever the venue, whatever the numbers are,
Yep.
I've got a corporate event coming up next week, and it's 126 guests. So I'm just welcoming everyone with French martinis and a pineapple raspberry floss on the side.
Yeah.
And I'll do that by myself, no problem.
Yeah, okay.
But I also have my systems in place, and, I do move fast, but in order to deliver that seamless experience, like people are a little bit happy to just like stand around and be like, oh my God, this is so cool to watch this, and like they come back and they're like, can we try another flavor? Like you have like a lemon meringue, like what? So it's
what does that taste like?
Right, can I try all of them? You're like, yes, you can. So yeah, and then the time goes very quickly.
Yeah.
But I am on from the second I get there, from the second I go. Yeah.
Yeah. Can you pre-do any of the drinks or anything like that before you get there? Like,
yeah. So, like with this corporate function that's coming up, I'll have the entire cart covered in French martinis.
Yep.
And so when they are arriving into the function, they'll just sort of grab and go. But that floss, that experience of me actually like making the floss in front of them and topping the martinis, that will be done in front of them. But all the drinks will already be made and poured. And so that way it'll be seamless. And so that I can get through 122 guests.
Are you doing that at the gig, or are you, like Steve said, are you doing that before, like at home in your kitchen?
No, at the gig.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, it all happens. So I arrive a couple hours before just to prep everything.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, okay. I'm just trying to work out logistically. So say, someone had the reception.
Yeah.
That's a lot of
never
drinks.
know anything about that. The couples just think that I magically appear and just magically go
Just when you want, you just like,
There's quite a lot of work involved, but I like to be busy.
Yeah. So say like a ceremony is 3:00, and they're.
So I arrive at 1.
Yeah,
at
1
least.
o'clock. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. And then you're just kind of set up, and then so by the time they get over to you by 4:30 or something like that,
It's on.
you're on, and you'd have drinks all kind of pre-done.
So it depends on the timeline of what they're creating, right? So if like everyone's coming out of a bus and they're all coming to me, then it's all already poured. But if people are sort of trickling in, then I'm giving them that like full cocktail shake experience where they're waiting for like a normal drink, and that way they can smell the floss getting made. They see it getting coming out of this machine like magic, and so it just depends on how many guests and what that sort of situation is.
What's your go-to drink?
Oh, coconut margarita or lychee martini at the moment.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I've had neither.
Oh God, they're so good.
I've had I'm just a margarita guy. I found margaritas and I was like, sent Steve a photo of I'm making a margarita at home.
So the good thing, the really cool thing about the floss is like I'll halve like the agave in a normal margarita, and so then the floss becomes that sweetener. So some people might want it less sweet, some people want it really sweet, right? But they're all the ones that are like melting the floss into the drink and then eating the rest.
Yep.
So essentially, everybody's walking around with their perfect margarita.
There you go.
Yeah.
How do you go sourcing Flossy? like as far as sourcing ingredients and everything like that, was that tough to come to the point where you were really happy with all the ingredients you're using?
Yeah, so my menu has adapted based on the seasons and what's available.
Yeah.
I think the best part about food is just getting it like its most natural, purest source, the best quality, and really celebrating the seasons of what's in. So, yeah, like I'm literally growing, I think we've got about 12 Davison plums on our property.
Oh, amazing.
And I make, I'm literally growing the Davison plums. I'm drying them out. I'm making them into powder. I'm turning them into the floss. So it's like as much that I can do. Like,
you are consumed.
I
That's
just
awesome.
love it. I really do. And I love like figuring out what I can do with, like rose water is such an underutilized ingredient. So I'm like, okay, like let's see like how this can be incorporated. So I do like a raspberry rose water. And when you when you dissolve it into bubbles, oh my God, it's so delicious. It adds this like note of raspberry and rose without overpowering it, a touch of sweetness, and it just like makes bubbles like even better.
Interesting.
I know.
Can you, for us novices, what the heck is rose water?
It's like it's rose. It's the oil that comes out of rose petals, and yeah, it's like it tastes like roses.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Davison plums, can you actually eat the fruit?
Yes. So the fruit is super tart. So this is the thing with Flossy is I've tried to take ingredients that are bitter and tart and tangy and like pair that with the sweetness of floss, right?
Yep.
So the Davison plum gets turned into a powder.
Yep.
And then that gets sprinkled on top of the floss. And I do a lychee raspberry. So I'll take raspberries, dry them out, turn them into a powder, and you're just getting fresh dried raspberries on the top of a lychee floss. So depending on like what the menu is, depends on like the different toppings that goes on top of the floss. Because if there's dried limes for a kefir lime floss, or I'll even take a Davison plum powder and infuse it into the sugar, or not the sugar, into the salt for the salted caramel.
Yep.
And that way the salt's pink, so it matches the pink.
It's
about details. It's all about the details.
I have a feeling you're a little bit passionate about this.
Sorry, I can talk about flavors all day. Sorry.
That's awesome.
I love it.
That's so good.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I think it's really cool to see such. I think that's like been the most, for me, that's been the coolest thing about having this podcast is talking to people that it's one thing saying, I love what I do. And I feel like probably a lot of people in business, but I feel like a lot of people in the wedding industry say like, I love what I do. And it's kind of like this catchphrase that a lot of people say. But when like, pen meets the paper, when you actually put actions into play, I think that's been the coolest part for me is like seeing how people say that they love what they do, but then also like showing that. And like in some people, it's so flippant evident.
Yeah.
And you're not one of them.
Why is it always got to do with food? Like Marina as well. It's like as soon as we're talking about food, like yes, like love it.
It's just so delicious.
Yeah.
I mean, look, I had a food business that I did for the 6 years and I hated it. So to be in a position where you actually find something that you really do enjoy doing, I didn't really think, I was like, oh yeah, I love what you do. Yeah, right. But I genuinely like have found it. And hence the reason why I don't hire anybody to do it for me.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want you to do me out of a job.
Like, what else would I do then? Yeah. So.
That's awesome. That's so cool.
I might take it back to the business side of things just really quickly.
Sure.
Obviously, Flossy's doing really, really well and the product's amazing.
Thank you.
For people like struggling at the moment, like if you could put your energy and time and money into one aspect of your business at the moment and the way the wedding scene is at the moment, what do you think would be the most important currently?
I think building relationships is a big one. I think people need to know you, they need to like you, and they need to trust you. So, however that looks, being, marketing out of the ordinary is also a really great, it's like just recently I read a article about Robert F. Kennedy, and he went and put his political message in a fortune cookie.
Oh, yeah.
And then he called the Chinese restaurants and he's like, do you guys want 3 months supply of free fortune cookies? And they're like, yes. And so he was able to get, like, it's like think outside of the box. And like, I think sometimes when businesses are doing it tough, it forces creativity, which ends up being the best scenario.
Yeah.
So yeah, just think outside the box and just keep going until it lands.
Yeah, okay.
I actually have a story like that as well. I'm not that creative, but it inspired my creativity where a friend wanted this graphic designing business. And so he ended up sticky taping something to a helium balloon and put that inside a box.
I love it.
And then I think it was for a school or something like that. And they opened up the box and it floated to the ceiling of their gym.
Yeah.
And so they had to get like a ladder and stuff to get it down and stuff. And then I think it was a resume or business card or something like that, rather than just like handing someone a business card.
That's right.
And then you just like throw it in your side door of your car or something like that and you never see it again.
Well, it's funny because when I'm at these open days for people ask me, do you have a business card? And I just say no.
Yeah, yeah.
My business card is a bag of floss. So I'm like, what flavor would you like? And they're like, what? But it's like, it's an experience from the start right to the finish, And yes, a bag of floss might cost me a little bit more than a normal business card, but people actually get to go home and eat it, and it's like, and share it with their partner that might not be there on the day. And it's like, just those little things. It's about the details.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Imagine the conversion on a bag of floss.
Yeah.
Like them taking that home and already having that experience and then imagining what that's going to be like on their wedding day.
Exactly.
It's very real.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's quickly talk on that even. How important do you think it is for, like we all talk about like, you start off at a certain price point, photography, florist, whatever, and then you want to go up and up and up, but it's not necessarily like you could still be kind of doing the same kind of thing, but it's like providing a better experience and all those types of things. How important do you think it is for like booking gifts and like things like that? Because that's like a very common thing that I'm hearing these days is like someone might book a photographer or a florist and they then from that booking, they get like a little gift of, I don't know, like it could be a guide to help them plan their wedding or coffee or I don't know, like things like that. Do you think those are important or do you think that's like a bit of a gimmick or like?
I've never heard of it, but I love it. I think any way that you can connect with your couple that creates a point of difference is great. But I think I've never done anything like that.
Okay.
Yep.
I mean, yeah.
I know like 2 or 3 people that are doing
That's
that.
great.
Yeah.
Recently from a wedding photographer, they'll put in their like inquiry thing or even in there, like when they've actually booked the client, they're going through the contract and everything like that. And it's like, ask them where their favorite restaurant to eat is. And like they'll answer that. And then so later on, like then they can send them, like $100 voucher for that restaurant. You could go out there.
That's awesome.
It's like something so simple, but you could easily do and even just include that in the price, of your collection anyway. But it's going to leave like a really nice taste in their mouth because there's a lot of times like where we just
literally
book a wedding and we're stoked. We're like, cool, we got another wedding. Like, we're so happy. And then it's kind of like, and 3 months prior to your wedding, I'll send you out the, the questionnaires and everything like that. And nothing kind of happens for that year. But it's always trying to find out ways like you want to kind of keep in contact, but not too much where you're just being annoying as well. But it would be nice to kind of create an experience for them prior to that 3 months, before the wedding as well. So I don't know, just thoughts.
Yeah.
That's a sick idea.
I mean, I literally have 1 or 2 emails prior to the day. And unless like with this corporate function, their whole thing is about disco and it's a hairdressing company. So it's all like bling disco. And so I was like, okay, let me go and get edible glitter and put it on the floss, So like those things might be like, how can we sort of tweak and like customize even more? But really, I think at the end of the day, if I was the customer, I just want you to show up on the day and have an incredible experience, and like, and that's kind of where I focus all my attention. Yeah. But I love those ideas.
Yeah. Do you have any like sample bags? Like say people haven't seen you at like I'm assuming a lot of people come from a previous wedding or an event. Say they haven't, they just find you on Instagram. Is there a way that they can get a taste of that floss before they book you?
They can.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So they just jump on and they can like order it or something.
That's right.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. But it's
I'm just going to do that right now. Real quick.
Exactly. Just gets delivered. Yeah.
I wouldn't be able to drive home.
That would have been so much better with like a cocktail and floss. I'm so sorry.
Run it back, cut the cut.
I actually have the cart ready to go for a wedding today, so I can't.
Don't worry about the wedding. Call in sick. It's fine.
Oh, goodness.
Too good.
And are you part of any of the open days and everything like that that's been happening at the moment?
Yes. Yep. All of them. So I think on Sunday I'll be at the island.
Yeah,
Yep.
in service.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then a part of the Gold Coast Collective that's coming up too. I think that's on the 18th, is it?
Yep.
Yeah. So
Do you
they can also come and just get the whole experience there. Yeah.
Do you find you get a lot of bookings from those kind of events?
Yeah, definitely. I think at the end of the day, when someone experiences Flossy, they want it at the event.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anytime I can give that experience to anyone, it helps the business for sure.
Yeah. And then what's your max amount of bookings per year?
It's 365 days, so around 600.
I can drive to.
It's actually not about the amount for me. It's really just about making sure that I enjoy my life.
Yeah, yeah, for
I
sure.
know that sounds weird, but I've my previous dessert business, I just worked myself and I ended up in hospital. So I just take on as much as I can that will make sure that the delivery of that experience will be flawless every time.
Yeah.
And then I, take time off where is needed with my for family time and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
there's not a set it's got to be this amount of
Yeah.
yeah.
Do you get red flags from couples where you're just like, oh, maybe not?
No.
Sorry, booked. I'm taking holiday.
No, I actually feel like people that book Flossy are my
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's my
fair.
big thing though. I feel like you'd have hundreds a year because
Yeah,
as if there isn't hundreds of people wanting you at their wedding.
I agree.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
that was the
I mean,
thing.
I do have
Yeah.
to say no, and sometimes I can do 2 or 3 in a day. But I'm just really aware that I want to maximize their experience, and I want to be 100% to be able to do that. So it's not about quantity for me. It's really about the quality.
Yeah,
Yeah.
perfect.
Yeah.
All right.
So cool.
I think, do you want to add anything more before we do wrap up?
No.
I think this has been amazing.
Yeah.
I'm super hungry.
Yeah. I was just going to say, let's quickly touch on that giveaway again. How do they enter? What's the details on that? Because I think that's epic. That's such a massive thing for someone.
Oh, I mean, it's a dream come true. They can head to Flossy. There's a tab that says giveaway. They just have to enter their details, and there's certain questions of when they'd like to get married, just so we can.
Of course.
And then they just go onto the socials and follow the rest of the vendors that are involved, and they're in.
Love it.
So, and then we're going to call the winner on the 19th.
Awesome.
Yeah. So it ends on the 17th though, so they have to be registered before then.
Yep.
And then on the 16th, we're actually inviting all the couples that have entered the giveaway for a night out at Nutting Hill, so they can come out to the venue. They can meet all the vendors. Whoa. We're having a fashion show by Vera Wang, a fireworks show.
Oh, wow.
Bubbles and floss on arrival, some food, and they just have a chance to see the venue in person, but also meet all these incredible vendors that created this wedding.
Can Joel and I register? Is that?
I was like, it's the giveaway on crack, bro.
We will be there just for that.
Come.
Far
so
out.
It's from 4 till 8
Wow.
on the 16th.
On the
This sounds
16th.
amazing.
It's pretty much just a night out with your fiance and just being transported into Italy for the night.
That's amazing.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's so
God,
cool.
I think everyone else's comps sound pretty crap right now.
Well, again, anytime I do anything, I just want to, it's what would I want?
Yep.
You know, and I want the best. And so I contacted some of the best in the industry and was like, do you want to do this? I think it'll be really cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So cool.
Especially for Nutting Hill, probably them and food and flowers, they're probably giving away the most, as far as the cost to them. So even for somewhere like that, for the venue and for flowers and for everything like that, to be able to see the value in it for themselves, to be no, this is going to be worth it. So,
I mean, you'd be surprised how many everybody really pitched in huge for the venue, for the giveaway. We've got live music from before your ceremony even starts right through to DJing by Daniela's guest music.
Yeah, beautiful.
Yeah.
And I mean, my goodness, I could bring out my phone and just go through the whole
Yeah,
list.
I can imagine.
Go on to social media and have a look because
Yeah.
they have literally chosen some of the most incredible vendors to be a part of it. So
Love it.
Unreal.
Perfect. All right. And
So
where,
good.
where can people find you on the internet when they want to book you and taste all the amazing
just
drinks?
Flossy Byron Bay.
Yep. Perfect. On the
Love it.
gram.
Yeah, on the
Perfect.
gram. On that's the same place. Yeah, you can go to into the giveaway.
Yep.
Beautiful.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you
Amazing.
so much for coming on and having a
I
chat.
appreciate you
Thanks,
guys having
Christina.
me. Thank
It's
you.
amazing. Thank you.
Easy. Thanks for tuning in to the Wedco podcast. We're dropping a fresh episode every week featuring industry professionals dishing out the wedding wisdom you need to turn those dreams into reality. Make sure you are following us on social media, you have those notifications turned on so we can help plan your wedding day. Your dream wedding day just got a whole lot easier. Thanks for listening.